There was a time when resources seemed endless. But in 2030, the great energy crisis began. With hardly any resources left on our world, global powers created the World Space Agency to look beyond the Earth for answers. The answer was found in helium-3, a powerful isotope discovered in abundance on the Moon. With it, humanity could satisfy its energy demand for decades to come. And so, in 2032, mankind colonized the Moon. Spearheaded by the Lunar Council, the WSA constructed several permanent settlements to harvest and process helium-3. The resulting energy was transferred to Earth through a revolutionary energy network, the Microwave Power Transmission, or MPT. For a time, all seemed well. Then, one fateful night in 2054, the lights went out. No energy. The MPT had gone offline, and communication with the lunar colonists was lost. Without earthly resources to launch a full-scale rescue mission to the Moon, the World Space Agency was shut down permanently in 2055. But a small group of former WSA colonists refused to accept humanity's bleak future. Determined to discover the colony's fate and to restore the MPT, they've been preparing their mission in an abandoned desert launch facility. Now, in 2059, they are ready to launch an astronaut to the Moon. What awaits is unknown and unforeseeable, but the mission is clear. Deliver us the Moon.
Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm taking a first impressions look at Deliver Us the Moon, Fortuna. Which, I suppose I don't need to explain the setup here, since we just had the introduction video for that. We are going to be heading up to the lunar colony after years of, I guess, sort of post-apocalyptic, energyless Earth, to find out what happened and why they stopped beaming all the Earth's power. So let's get in here.
Friends and family of the missing lunar colonists gather all around the world tonight in remembrance of the 2054 MPT blackout that resulted in a global power outage and the loss of contact with the lunar colony. The blackout caused global turmoil, which ultimately led to the closure of the World Space Agency 1 year later. In other news, the recent formation of the largest...
You think it would have led to the collapse of all the world's governments as well.
...forecast of the equatorial desert's growth rate. As a result of the new storm, the desert could soon cover 30% of the globe's landmass. Several governments have pledged support for...
Alright, here we are. So, I guess there must still be some sort of resources for power generation, because otherwise how else are we getting this radio broadcast?
And pass over the World Space Agency's former MPT ground station.
This kind of implies there must be some...
Authorities have imposed a mandatory evacuation of the impacted areas. For countries north of
degree of radio distribution for them to be sending these messages out to.
This was Nicole Page for World News 1, September 16, 2069. Wishing you a safe and happy day.
So I guess we're in this old WSA launch facility. Seems like an appropriate book for our character. There's a weird sort of acceleration to the movement, like, okay, this is when I'm going to press the key. Now. See that? You kind of have to, like, wind up to start walking again. So I guess Fortuna is actually our name. That's the significance of it being in the title.
Ground control to Fortuna 1, this is Claire. Please confirm radio contact.
Okay, now we're in third person. So the weird acceleration makes a little more sense, I guess?
Radio contact confirmed. Make your way to the launch platform and prime the rocket for liftoff. We have to launch before the dust storm hits.
We have to launch before this facility becomes non-viable. Enter the Vesnikov launch facility. Vesnikov
There she is.
Cosmodrome.
Tourist spies. It took us 4 years to get her ready for launch. But you need to hurry. The dust storm will hit this area in a few hours. If we don't succeed now, the Fortuna mission will be over for good.
But again, if there were no natural resources left on the Earth, what the hell do they make fuel out of for this thing? There are some questions about this setting that don't completely line up. Since they made it sound like Earth was completely helpless without the power from the moon. We can do some Metroid Prime scanning of all the things we see. So Claire, our radio person, is the daughter of the person who created the microwave relay. So I guess we can kind of dig around the base here a little bit, if we wanted to. I mean, I guess it makes sense that we're in Russia, because where else would they call it a cosmodrome? The Cyrillic everywhere also kind of gives that away. But I believe this is a Eastern European developed game? Nope. Oh, weird. So it switches perspective to first person when you're in an enclosed space like this. It's kind of interesting. Lets you get up close with everything. It'd be kind of awkward to look around it here with, you know, third-person suit stumbling around. So there's Miami. Looks to be all dried up. And there's Paris, covered in smog. Alright, so there's Claire's stuff, but who's Kathy? Am I Kathy? Her sister, who is on the moon and probably dead, or kidnapped by aliens. Imagine a world free of fossil fuels and pollution, except it'd be far too late for that. Especially since, with the recent news about just how far along the destruction of the climate is. But anyhow. Also, Vanquish kind of shows what the potential downside or dangers of having a microwave relay pointed at the Earth could be. One liquefied city later. I still have not done my revisiting video on that game, which I'm still going to at some point. Ah, that must be our good luck rocket. Hopefully ours is a little more vertical when we launch. Good old Sputnik. Sputnik. Ah, see, we could have taken the ramp, but like a true adventurer, we platformed our way up instead. Alright, well, we don't want to faff around too much here on the depressing surface, because we've got a moon to get to. Well, unsurprisingly, the elevator doesn't work, so we'll just take the ladder. I suppose there is still some methods of generating power. You know, wind turbines, solar energy, hydroelectric dams, things that don't directly require fossil fuels and such. Nuclear power. Somehow I doubt they've used up all of the radioactive material on the planet. Who knows, maybe they had to send all the fissile material on Earth to the sun to restart it.
Good, I see you're on your way up to the facility. The control center is located on the top floor. There you can prime the rocket for launch.
Okay, so we're gonna have to do our own launch procedure, I guess? Is there actually anyone else here except for us and Claire? Because kind of sounds like there maybe isn't.
It's been 5 years since we last received a microwave power transmission from the lunar colony. At first, no one believed it would be possible to transmit energy from the moon back to Earth, but the WSA proved the skeptics wrong. Just like you will, when you get the MPT back online.
We need a code to get to the control room. Oh, there's still like one pack of snacks left in there. Chocolate bar or something. 3548. Oh, we are in Kazakhstan. Open these shutters. Get some light in here.
This building once functioned as part of the WSA, but it's been our home for many years now. I still can't believe you'll be leaving here for good soon. The desertification of this whole region won't take long after the storm passes through.
It's a weird thing to tell somebody who has also been living here with you the whole time. Yes, this place, which has been our home for many years, as you well know. Isaac Johansson, University of Danbridge, Mechanical Engineering and Architecture, Lunar Council member. Copernicus Moon Hub. Workaholic, consumed with creation and maintenance of MPT, obsessive tendencies cause rift in personal relationship. Unsurprisingly, the creator is both brilliant and a bit of a weirdo, as they tend to be. At least in fiction. Maria Gonzalez, so somebody else must be here. Alright, so here's our plan. I mean, it's not really a plan, it's just a bunch of questions. Is the monorail working? What's the status of the tethers? The reactor? A bunch of scribbles. Is this a badge for... Okay, that's earlier. That's a different malfunction. Left mouse and right mouse both zoom, so I was confused what the difference was there. Pretty fancy spacesuit. Good kind of ergonomic design, while still looking fairly similar to what we have now. The Huyen's cryosleep malfunction. Okay, so she was on the moon and came back. There have people who've been there and back. We met years ago on the Pearson space station. So they do have some kind of drones on the moon. Yeah, I could say antidepressants being a pretty popular drug after the collapse of civilization and the loss of electricity for most people. So I'm guessing this malfunction is something we're going to hear more about later. Or discover for ourselves on the moon, since it sounds like the facility is closed down and still there. Yeah, so it controls a little wonky. Kind of feels like you're skating sometimes. But as long as they don't have to do any complicated platforming, I think that won't be a big deal. I mean, it seems like electricity is functional here, but pretty minimal, so that is more in line with what I expected. They can't really keep anything non-critical powered. Then again, this whole area is pretty lit up, probably unnecessarily so. Evacuation notice. Okay, the control center is this way. Well, not that way directly, but in that general direction. There's a sound file floating in the air. And again, there's probably all kinds of little notes and stuff around here to check out. Well, maybe not actually. There's not really much around here. Are you gonna tell me those evacuation notices have been sitting on these desks this entire time? I mean, I guess these are probably from the day they shut down.
Isolated 3 plausible causes for the MPT blackout. 1, the transmitter at Pearson Space Station.
Claire, there you are. Come on, we're celebrating in the other room. Everyone is looking for you.
I need to go over this one last time, Maria.
We've been over it before, multiple times. We're good. Come. It's time to join the party.
It won't take long. I'll be right there.
A true Johansson. Once he set his mind to something, I could never convince him either. You're just as stubborn as your father.
Probably the only thing we had in common. I just don't understand why he didn't restore the MPT connection. He invented the damn thing. And now it's just us. No one else is even trying. If we fail...
Remember what I told you. If it can be done, then we're going to do it. That's all we have to focus on. Go over your notes. Join us when you're ready.
All right. Causes of the blackout. Right. Secondly, it could be one of the net...
So are these things I'm gonna have to fix before we can take off? The last 3 stages? Court rules that Father Isaac Johnson granted full custody. So their mother died, and they sent the other younger daughter to the moon to live with him instead of her sister. Wait, so she designed this rocket for this mission. Does that mean she was still in school when the blackout happened? Alright. Well, let's go to the control center and see what our rocket has waiting for us and how functional it is. Seems like the flashlight auto shuts off. Or at least I don't remember turning it off.
You're in the control center. Get the rocket ready to launch as fast as possible.
Sure, I know how to do that. I was trained to launch my own rocket.
Calculating new storm ETA. Claire, we have a problem. The storm is approaching faster than expected. Way faster. Time's running out. Keep going, Fortuna. We've been working too long to give up now.
Close both fuel valves. Well, you know, I'm sure we'll manage to make it just in time. Okay, the fuel valves are, looks like, out there. How do I even get out there? You really couldn't have had somebody else in the control room to do this for me? Like, there's obviously more than just me here. But, hey, look, I guess I'll be the astronaut and launch my own fucking rocket. Aw, dang. Now I'll never get up here. I guess I can't just grab the ledge. It's not like I have a booster. Alright, so presumably need to bring something up here to stand on. Probably that staircase that was in the way. Yeah, I got your puzzle. Couldn't wait till we get to the moon to start with the puzzles. We have to start now, just to get there. Alright, let's see if I can wedge this through here. It seems like a bit much just to get up there. Could have probably stood in a box or something, but solve that problem.
Okay, the hydrogen valves are closed. Head back inside the control center to prime the rocket for launch.
Go back inside so it can tell you something else you need to do. Turn launch key. Am I then gonna have to sprint to the rocket so it doesn't take off without me?
That's it. The rocket is primed. You have to launch now, before the dust storm destroys the rocket and everything we've worked for.
Wow, they really didn't give me much time here. Time to get the fuck to the moon. Pretty sure this normally wouldn't even be enough time to get to the platform to enter the rocket. But we do have an elevator.
What are you waiting for? We have to launch before it's too late.
I'm waiting for the elevator to reach the top. Look, relax. We have 30 seconds until humanity is doomed.
Rocket navigation systems online. We're nearly there. It's just like your training. You can do this. Initiate launch procedure.
Sure. Yep, just
Ground
flip
launch
those.
sequence started.
Then I need to turn the dials.
Orbital axis arm retracting. Be a little more careful. Perfect, just like was practiced.
Alright. Oh, actually, that was step 5. Step 3 is all these little things. A1, B3, B3, B4.
Secondary power units booting up.
And then step 4 is this thing.
Gaseous oxygen vent arm holding, but barely. Try to go easy on the equipment. Vent arms safely in place.
And then we twist the little knobs.
Sound suppression system engaged. Hydrogen burner system activated.
Do that thing.
Rocket boosters ready for ignition. Standing by for countdown. Rocket boosters ignition start. Engines ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, start 1. We have liftoff.
I think we were a little premature there. We weren't even off the ground when she said it. Weren't there still, like, a couple more steps for me to worry about? I guess that'll be like separation of the boosters. And now we wait. Well, you can see the moon off to the side there.
You're on your way, Fortuna 1.
Luckily, I don't seem to need to do very much to pilot this thing. It's on an automatic trajectory. Kind of seem to be spinning a bit.
Astronauts made their way to the moon just 100 years ago. They knew an Earth full of life.
Yeah, the Earth's not looking so good down there.
If you can bring the MPT network back online, it could restore the hope humanity lost after the lunar colony fell. We could recover, rebuild, and most of all, start thinking about a future.
I mean, fixing your power problem won't fix the Earth becoming a desert.
Transmitter at the Pearson space station. From there, the power signal was relayed to Earth. This was the final link in the MPT network before the blackout. If there are answers to find, they're at Pearson. Claire, we need to head down to the shelter. These winds are getting bad. Understood. Fortuna 1, this storm is going to jam radio contacts. You'll be on your own for a while. To reach the station, you must... Once you're in the second stage of the law, please deliver us the moon.
Yeah. When we get to the optimal position, we gotta initiate the secondary stage of launch. I guess we're in the ideal position now. Okay. Second stage thruster. Though if the world is dried up and is becoming a dust ball, you'd think there'd be a lot less ocean left over. It still looks pretty oceany. There's that late title card. It's interesting that the Fortuna part of the title is left out most of the time. Alright, so we're not actually going to land on the moon yet, we're going to land on the orbiting space station, where the actual projector was. And then I guess there would be a really long elevator to get down to the planet, or the moon. Okay, so I just need to line up the dock here. Okay, so I am actually moving forward at the same time. You gotta adjust early because it takes a couple seconds for it to factor in. But as long as we stay on target here. And don't go too fast. Alright, we didn't smash into the station.
Ground control to Fortuna 1. You must have reached Pearson Space Station by now. The storm has severely damaged our instruments, so we can't reach your location or receive any messages. But we can detect fluctuations in the MPT network. If you can hear this, when you reach the control center, try to find out what's wrong with the MPT connection so you can bring it back online. Good luck with that.
Alright, so we are in 0G right now, and that means that we can just do barrel rolls in the air. So our suit must have some sort of EVA thrusters. Alright, so there is our MPT. We just have to find out what's wrong with it. And the doors do not open. I mean, the station does have very low power, so I guess there's not much we can do. It's also nice that they give you first person when you're doing EVA like this. Well, I guess it's not technically EVA, it's just 0G movement. Because doing this in third person would be janky. Okay, so there is no oxygen in this area. Bring life support back online. Ooh. Oh, that's confusing. Central hub. Life support is just an O2, so should be able to find a symbol for that. No. So we just have to guess. This thing looks like a battery of some variety. Space food, don't need that right now. Alright, we got a minute and 50 left of air. This... Okay. That's just a cap. I thought this was just open. I'm like, yeah, that's probably not great. Alright. So this is the airlock I came in from. Which means this is the way I want to go. Put that battery in there. Kind of figured we'd need that for something. Okay, that was just a floating oxygen canister that we somehow connected to our suit. It's always a weird thing in games where you can somehow refill your air just by, like, going into a place with air. Like, that's not really how it works with closed air systems. You don't just, like, open a valve and it's like, okay, now it's filling up with real air. Not enough power for life support. Well, it looks like we need batteries for these. Got a lot of air canisters here I can fill up on. So I don't have too much time here. I don't suppose I can just take this battery back without closing the door. Yeah. For some reason, it needs power just to stay open. Well, there wasn't another battery in that area. So there's one here. Oh, and there's another locker here I should be able to open, which hopefully has, nope, just has some more oxygen in it. Alright, let's grab this one here and plonk it in. Aha! I know what I have to do. Put this battery in there so that I can take the other battery, which should keep the door open. And then I can take the other battery back. Second puzzle solved. I wouldn't really count the launch sequence as a puzzle since it told us what to do. And there we go.
Backup power activated. Life support systems online. Oxygen levels rising.
Assess station power inside the control center in the Libra wing. The Libra wing is down 2 floors. Okay, I don't think I can open this hatch. Well, at least we don't have to worry about booster fuel. Even though it should be pretty limited, but I guess oxygen is enough to worry about. Ah, there's a door in the floor that opened up. I was like, how am I going to get out without shutting off the air? It's a little disorienting, being in zero gravity like this in a space station that is built in multiple directions. Let's grab this audio log.
Expedition team, do you copy?
Copy, Control. We're all set. Ready for descent.
The MPT network is still down, so expect the lights to go out as you descend towards Copernicus.
Thanks for the heads up, Pearson.
Remember, Sarah, our oxygen here in the station is limited. After arriving, you'll have 40 minutes to find out what caused the blackout and bring our MPT network back online. If you're not back by then, we'll have to evacuate without you.
We hear you, Control. Rolf, you ready?
I am. And don't worry, Control. It's probably just a glitch. We'll be back before you know it.
Let's find out how they've been holding up down there. Alex, commence descent protocol.
All systems go. Descent in 3, 2, 1. Descent engaged. Godspeed.
Alright, so now we're in the central hub. So one of these tunnels should lead where we want to go. I mean, that log right there pretty much tells us that they don't know what happened either. Whatever it was happened down on the moon. Let's see, Libra. Yeah, that's not a disorienting view. Let's put windows on the bottom of the tunnel. I mean, really, there is no bottom, but the orientation is really kind of determined by the signs on the walls. They tell you which way you should probably be floating until they change like this. Alright, just roll myself back over. What the hell's that? I mean, having stuff with wheels implies that this is not meant to be zero-G. Oh, the trash is floating back out. Do you think that after, what, like 5 years without anyone apparently being here, that most of this stuff wouldn't be working anymore? Like, beyond just the doors. And it is low power, but the station still does have some power. Do not let it go offline.
There you go, buddy. Almost there. We'll touch up your paint job later, don't worry.
Are you ready to go? We've almost got the elevator running again.
Yeah, just patching up Alex before we head down.
Are you bringing that thing along?
Of course. We'll need all the help we can get. Besides, you wouldn't have made it to that airlock if it hadn't been for him. This MPT blackout can't be just a glitch, Rolf. Everything is still dark down there. Last time there was an outage. Did you hear the message from Earth?
No. What did they say?
They can't even send ships up here anymore without the MPT. It's crazy, right? We're the only ones able to investigate the blackout.
Sarah, we need to get you guys down to the surface ASAP. We don't have much time.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, so they do have backup power on the station, which is why there's any power at all. I imagine at some point we'll be able to get one of these robots working for us. Looks like we need a password for the control room. Okay, so this is the investigation into what went wrong. The cryo sleep. One of the few survivors of the Huygens cryosleep malfunction. So this was her down on the planet that was asking this. That's really weird. Holograms can only exist in the place where they were recorded. Kind of defeats the point in being able to record them. Yeah, really not a lot of lights on the Earth anymore. So is this whole Moon Man just going to be a series of books about our current situation that are relevant? Alright, well, I'm not seeing code here. Oh, there it is. 2539. So nothing too complex so far in terms of puzzles and investigation. Which is nice, because sometimes these games can be very obtuse about what they want you to do. And the added trouble of having to zero-G navigate means that you probably don't always want to have to do very precise things. Secret classified construction project on the moon. I wonder if that has anything to do with the malfunction and disappearance of everyone on the moon. Well, we don't know they've all disappeared yet. Just that no one has been around to fix the damn malfunction, so that would imply that something has happened to them all. Maybe they are all in cryosleep. Alright, MPT network offline. There's a handy diagnose MPT button, which is the only button. So there's a series of things we'll have to do just to get down to the moon. We gotta get the power on, we gotta do that by rotating the station. The station's engines are offline. So we gotta get to the Ares wing. Cryosleep research area. I'm not sure if my flashlight has a battery or if it just shuts off after a while. It seems to just kind of randomly turn off. Not sure why most of these monitors seem to have been smashed. In case of an emergency, please pay attention to the following guidelines. Travel to Moon Hub. So, I guess they evacuated the station down to the moon? But they left their spacesuits behind? Not these two, though. Maybe the rapture happened, but only to people on the moon. Is this a good idea? If we're going to cut open this airlock? Isn't that gonna flush the entire area? Or is it just locked? And now I can just cycle it normally. Yeah, I guess we don't have to worry about decompression. Collect. Let me just take this laser arm. Oh, we can turn it into a tool. Wow. Really miniaturized that bit there. It says left mouse button cut, but I guess you can only cut specific things. So it seems like there will be some new abilities gained as we go. Cut in emergency. Okay, so some of these will be locked. I don't know what we're cutting open here. So yeah, I think you can only use the laser cutter when there are specific prompts that will allow you to activate it. You can't just laser everything. Okay, there was another O2 container there, but I don't need it. Now I just gotta navigate this maze. I mean, this laser doesn't seem to have any sort of power source. It's a good-looking game, too. I think this is also Unreal Engine 4 at a glance. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what it's looking like with some of the other stuff I've been checking out recently that was also made in Unreal 4. Either way, it's a nice-looking game without being super, super high-detailed. But I'm not like, man, look at this unreal janky space station.
Ground control to Fortuna 1. We're still not reading anything from the MPT. Is everything under control up there?
This mission has been in planning for years. I've been up here for like 20 minutes. Give me time to figure out the layout of the station.
Assembling Section 3C now.
Copy that. Do you think we'll finish construction anytime soon?
Was the council claiming more supplies each week? I doubt it. I'm surprised we got this past MacArthur in the first place.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm getting strange readings here from the lunar surface. Are you seeing anything?
Just wrapping up. What the hell? All the lights are shutting down.
Are you alright, Rolf? What just
I
happened?
can't see a thing. Everything is dark out here.
We lost power from the MPT. The whole station is down. Can you find your way back to the airlock?
Negative. I don't have a visual.
Right. I'm sending Alex to block the airlock doors. Do you see him?
I see his flashlight. Heading back to the airlock. What's going on? Everything on the surface is dark.
Rolf, not now. What's your ETA?
10 seconds.
Make it faster. Once the airlock seals, you'll be locked out. Alex is blocking the door for you, but he can't hold it much longer.
Oh, I guess the airlock auto seals once the power goes out. It's working good enough. We don't need to finish the power station that provides the power to the Earth. We can work on our secret project. Alright, we are in the Ares wing. It says the door's unlocked, but it didn't open, so I guess I'm not going in that way. And I probably don't want to get near these electrical, like, these look like fiber wires or something with the weird light coming out of them. GoldenEye that shit with my wrist laser. Like, this looks really good here when you turn off the lights, the reflections and everything. Also, I wonder if it'll switch back to third person, like maybe when we're on the moon. That doesn't look so great there, but just ignore it. And try not to electrocute myself. Oh, that's a window. Alright, so what do I actually... Well, I guess we'll cut that. And that should cut the power to the other one. Alright, let's get in here and see what it wants me to do, and then I think we'll call it there, because I think we're a while off from getting to the moon proper. But so far, I'm digging this. Ooh. 0G liquid bubbles. Ah, can I not move them? Nah, I can't, like, get them to splash on my helmet visor or bounce them around the room, so minus 0.5 points for that. If I ever did review scores or reviews, that might actually matter. Oh, that door's locked. Now, tell me, what are these green turbines for? Looks like there's liquid on the other side. Oh, it's an oxygen pipe. Or is that liquid oxygen? Provide power to the station rotation engine. I'm not sure what this texture is behind these. Well, that's a lot of cables to cut. I don't even know what this thing is that we're breaking. But it's in the way of us getting a power cell, so we're gonna cut it anyway. Imagine this would not be a great game if you're somebody who gets motion sick. Though I do wonder if this is a VR game at all. I didn't actually check if it had VR support. Since that doesn't really apply to me, I don't always pay attention to whether that's a feature in a game or not. I imagine this would be cool in VR, but probably also very nauseating.
Energy supply at 40%.
Yep. We're gonna break the life supply just to get this thing online. But I guess if maybe it's only life support in this area, hopefully. Okay. These ones are just electrified. I just need to not fly into them. What's the point in having insulated cables if they're somehow projecting electricity through the insulation?
Life support energy supply at 20%.
All right. Again, kind of get around this problem by turning sideways.
Life support energy supply critical. Power fully redirected from life support to rotation engine. Access control center to activate engine. Life support failure.
Can I get back out the way I came? No. Hopefully this is a shortcut to the control center. I mean, if we get the station rotated, then we don't have to worry because the power will come back on and the life support
Oxygen reserves low.
should power itself back up. But I guess we have to rotate this towards the sun so that the solar panels are picking up more light. I don't remember where the command center was from here. I guess I could look at the station map. I think it was... I don't actually remember where it was from here. Wasn't it through Pixies? Or Pisces? That's locked. Libra. Okay. Let's quickly float our way back to the command center, get the station rotated, and that seems like a good place to stop.
Life support offline. Oxygen reserves nearly exhausted.
Man, it's a good thing we didn't show up like a couple days later. Alright, let's get this thing into place. That seems not ideal. I wasn't expecting a QTE there. Oh, we've got another chance at life. Oop, 10 seconds of air. Alright, the station may have exploded a little bit. I guess it couldn't handle the stress of rotating. Which I was not expecting. But here's our gravity-style experience of jumping from bits of space debris. Still haven't seen that movie either. I'm not sure why things are kind of peeling away from me like that. But that was pretty cool, getting sucked out like that. Convenient that all of these broken parts have just enough air to reach the next one, though. No, there's a big group of air down here. Ah, it was a teaser. It was a breath tease. Oh, we're almost back to the station. It's a good thing nothing, like, snapped in the main tether. Actually, kind of wonder how the station rotates. I guess it must rotate around the tether without actually rotating the tether. Alright. Hopefully there's some air over here, because we're about to run out. Yeah, I think this part's pretty cool, though. The space debris everywhere, having to fly from bit to bit. It's a neat little segment. And a great place to leave off. And now we just need some way to seal this airlock behind us. Otherwise, getting the power back on isn't going to fix our not being able to breathe problem. Oh, decompression. Boy, that was pretty close. So we broke a little bit of the station, like a quarter of it, but we got it working. Enough for us to take the elevator down. Alright, yeah, so now that we're not floating around, we're back in third person. And I think that's a good place to stop. It seems like a very cool space game with a mix of this third person wandering around combined with first person, you know, close-up exploration and zero-G travel. It seems like a generally cool space game with a interesting concept of the whole, you know, being the Earth's last hope to get their power back online. Though I've heard that this game's biggest complaint is simply that the ending is apparently very abrupt and does not really answer a lot of questions. And also that it's a bit shorter than you expect it to be, that it just kind of comes out of nowhere. But other than that, I think this is pretty cool, and I am curious to see what the central mystery at the core of this is, because I like the idea of exploring a rundown space colony and trying to find out why everyone's missing. And that's why I was looking forward to Routine, a game that sadly will never come out now, because one of the developers kind of had a mental break or something, and has disappeared from everyone's communication. But anyhow, I've been Shadefire. This is Fortuna, or Deliver Us the Moon, Fortuna, rather. And I think it's cool, and I will continue to play it. But until next time, I hope you'll rejoin me as we explore other derelict space stations. And until then, take care.